Hi, my name is Shali. Thanks for being here and let's talk. Okay, so today I have a very special guest. This is my first friend. This is my big brother. He acts as like my confidant, my mentor. The reason I have him here today is because we want to discuss finances, which is something that is, very, very interesting and very complex when it comes to especially being a young African professional. So I'm going to give him the opportunity to introduce himself. Please introduce yourself to the internet people.
Thank you, Shali. Hi, internet people. Yeah, my name is Nagoba Bala. I'm a civil engineer by profession. I'm also a project management professional. I also do a bit of entrepreneurship. I'm also a coder. So a few things. I think I see myself as a person who's interested in a few different things as well.
Okay, and I can attest that he is a jack of all trade and master of all. Or maybe I'm just biased because that's my guy. But so we're having this conversation. We're smiling and stuff, but it's a very serious conversation that we wanted to share because last year or so, late last year, we were having a conversation about finances. Now, I obviously studied finance, and so there were some things that maybe, I don't know if it's because I studied finance or I don't know, but I felt like everybody was aware of it and everybody knew. And then I realized that no, that's not the case. And I was having some conversations with my brother and some other friends and young professionals, and I realized, woo, guys, we're getting taken for a ride here by the financial sector. So I realized we need to reevaluate. So what I did is I've had this book for a while. It's called Become Your Own Financial Advisor. It's by Warren Ingram. He's a South African writer. And I've had it for a while, and I have shared it with a few friends. As you can see, I've got some little marks here to say very important. And I shared it with a few friends. But I realized that when having these conversations last year that, no, I think more people, especially young professionals, need to read this. And so I got one from my brother and I got one from my other friend, and my brother started sharing it with his friends, and we've seen an active transformation in understanding of financial and personal financial growth and wealth and what all of these things mean. So maybe I should give him a chance. Nangolo, can you tell us what is it about this book that stood out for you that you felt that you needed to share with your friends?
No, I think the book is, for me, is a very good book. What I liked about it a lot was the local context. Mm-hmm. So the fact that it's written from someone who's in South Africa, which is very similar to Namibia. The way things were very similar to us. I liked also the very simple and practical way in which a lot of these concepts were discussed and explained. So I think I took away quite a lot from it. I think it's a good starting point. I think it's something that should have been a prescribed reading for anyone that's basically coming from university, or especially young professionals starting to work, starting to make money, being exposed to a lot of information. The problem that comes out quite a lot is the fact that you have a lot of information coming from all these different sources. You get told a lot of common things like, no, do this, take this, buy a house for this amount. Yeah. And all of these things, what I like about this book is that they've actually gone on and really discussed some of these things and delved in a very simple way that anyone can basically understand. But the author has really delved into this and really explained.
So you feel like, as somebody who's not from a financial background, this is really something that you could easily understand it, you could latch onto it, and you learned valuable lessons from it. I assume that you felt that you could share with your friends. What do you think, how was the reaction from your friends reading it? Because for me, when I gave it to you, I gave it to a couple of other friends who were like, oh my goodness, thank you for saving my life. What was your reaction when you shared it with the other young professionals?
Yeah, I think the reaction was the same. In many instances, the reaction was the same. You know, it's
Yeah.
we're told a lot of things that are supposed to be. You hear them around, and these are supposed to be general knowledge things that you're supposed to know. And a lot of the times, unfortunately, I think we take it at face value. We don't delve deeper into this advice we're given. We don't look at where it's coming from.
Yes.
In terms of, does this person have really the knowledge that they're claiming to have? You know,
Yeah.
are their financial objectives the same as my financial objectives? So that's one of the things. So really, the source, you look at the source to say, is this person a person who understands finance? And secondly, when they're telling me this information, may it be a bank or something, are their objectives aligned to my objectives as well?
Hello.
So I think, yeah, basically to answer your question, the reaction from a lot of people was, we had to unlearn. A lot of my friends had to unlearn a lot of these general knowledge that we've been given regarding personal financial management.
Yeah. And it's not okay, so this video is not a promotion of the book. I just want to start off with it because I think that's how we got into this level of conversation. And so just to add to what you're saying, when you're getting advice, you must understand who's giving you advice. You need to understand people's intentions. You need to understand, why are they saying this thing? Is it really? Because I mean, if you're getting advice from a real estate agent that, no, you have to buy a house right now, and you must buy the most expensive house you can. Really? It's obviously because people have their intentions, and you can't navigate the fact that people have their own intentions. You need to be able to understand why this person is saying to you. Of course, if it's from a bank, I mean, what is the bank's business? The bank's business is to sell money and debt. That is their business. So it doesn't help the bank if you have savings, like a nice amount of savings. You don't get the same amount of interest. Even if you look at what interest, you have a savings account, right? And your interest is when you have money in your account, you have interest of 1%. But dare to owe the bank money, and you're there paying 14%, 10%, 12% interest on a monthly basis. So just look at the disparity. So obviously, this is how their business works, and it's not wrong. I mean, it's a business like any other that needs to make its money. But you need to understand this person that's advising you, this person that works in the bank, this real estate agent, this person that sells credit, this person that sells insurance. You need to understand why they're giving you this information. And that's why it's good to have a solid understanding of finances, and at least how to save and stuff like that, how to invest. And I think that's why I wanted to start off with this book. But there's one thing that your young professionals, especially in Namibia, are being plagued by is debt. Hey, you have a credit card, you have a home loan, you take a loan for your wedding, you take a loan for this, you take a loan. By the time you sometimes even just get an SMS from the bank, hi, Dr. Shali, or dear Mr. Shpala, you qualify for a loan of a personal loan of this. And you're like, I didn't apply for your loan. What do you want from me? And we get gotten. And we get gotten by things like you qualify for. Because it's okatodemo psychology. You think like, I qualified, I achieved, like I've made it. And what they're telling you is that you're qualifying for debt, my friend. What is the qualification for debt? What is the qualification? What did you do to achieve that qualification for debt? And they come to you and they're being told, you need to, you just, here's 100K. Free! Madam, think like this, it's for you. Do what you want. And sometimes you go into the bank, for example, you really need a loan. Yeah? You go into the bank, they tell you, you go there, you need 50K, you need 100K. They tell you, no, but you can even take $500,000 here, why not? And you're like, $500,000 for me, why not? And then you take it, at the end of the day, you can't even say where that money went. You can't even say, but you are left with this debit order that's strangling you. You can't leave a job that you don't want to be at anymore. You can't do anything because you are a slave to debt. So what has changed for you in the last year on your perceptions, of your perception of debt? In the last 6 months, I guess,
when it comes to debt, I think I've heard someone refer to debt as the #1 weapon of wealth destruction. And that really is what it is. It's a weapon of wealth destruction. You look at debt and, you know, people refer to good debt and bad debt. But if you look at some things like this very expensive debt, the credit card debts, the furniture account debts, the clothing account debts. First of all, these things, personal loans. First of all, these things are very expensive debt.
Yeah.
So you end up paying so much in interest. Interest, you know, I think Warren Buffett refers to interest as the 8th wonder of the world. And if you understand it, if it works for you, it can do wonders for you. And if you don't understand it, it can really just destroy your wealth. Another aspect of debt management, what you'll find is that a lot of the things that we take out debt for don't add value to you at all. It's new handbag, or for us guys, it's that new Apple accessory.
I need a Birkin bag. Oh, guys,
and you're happy, you know.
How can I be a young professional? I don't have a Birkin bag. What does that
mean?
You
know, you're happy when you buy it, but this thing is worthless. You know, it doesn't add value to you. Try reselling that same bag for the amount that you bought it.
Yeah, the resale value is completely. If you get $100 on it,
exactly. If you look at, there are certain, you know, if you look at taking a study loan, for instance, so that you can get another qualification that is going to bring your earning power, increase your earning power, for instance. There we could look at debt, you know, as something. Or even a home loan, for instance, if you need a place, a shelter for your family, you can't fork out that $3 million. You manage that debt and you buy a reasonably priced house. You try to pay it off, so you decrease the amount of interest that you pay. I think that's good, you know. If you need a car, for instance, to get
even
to
work,
make an income. The problem is, you have to go to work, but the main thing that happens is that we often end up being oversold by the salesman. You go to the dealership to buy a car, and your budget is, I don't know, 50,000, 100,000, and the guy tells you about the sunroof, about the heated seats. By the time you leave there, you haven't bought something to get you to work. You bought something for $300,000.
With the orange stitching on your genuine leather.
And bear in mind, once you've left, you went looking for $100,000 car, you leave with a $300,000 car. Bear in mind that you're paying interest for that borrowed money. For that, each one of those $200,000 is money that someone has sold you things that you didn't really need, and you're going to pay money on top of that money. That's what interest is.
Exactly.
It's money that could have been growing your own wealth, that you could have been using it. But now you've used it on things that you don't necessarily need.
And so I just want to move into our very favorite thing in the world here is on this side of the world is black tax. I don't actually read a book, an extract from a book about black tax, and the question was really, is it a burden or is it Ubuntu, right? And I'm of the understanding, or I'm of the belief, or the school of thought that says it's Ubuntu. I mean, people sowed into me, I must sow into others. That's not a problem for me, you know. I think but what happens is, though, we start getting crippled financially by black tax. So we live beyond our means. We start going into debt because, you know, you're the one that made it. You made it out of university. You have a job now. You know, everybody has their hand out. And then you're like, no, how can I say no to this one? How can I say no to that one? And for me, the problem, though, is that it becomes problematic when there's no limit. There's no, you're just everything. And then you start getting yourself into debt. You start getting yourself in whatever. You can't say no. But the most important thing for me is I think you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't pour from an empty cup. And that brings me to also another situation where people start to think you're a bank or a cash cow. It's like, no, that one, you know, she graduating again. You graduated again. people are counting your graduations like it's money going into your pocket. And then you find people who you have never spoken. People don't have your number. They have to inbox you on Facebook. They have to find you on Instagram to be like, yeah, no, I'm your cousin so-and-so. Can you give me some money? Oh, I'm your grandmother's what distant relative. Can you give me some? I need money for this. I need money for that. And so I think there's a limit. You need to draw a line. What do you think? How do you tackle it? Like, how do you say like, okay, me personally here, I can't, because if I just keep giving, or yeah, how do you draw the line as to where does it stop? Where does it tip from being Ubuntu to being a burden? Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I think a lot of us, to get to where we are, to be able to go and study and have qualifications and come back and be able to make money, it was really a family effort. You did get support from your family. So I think that feeling then comes in that, let me try and assist where I can.
Yeah.
Now, but I think the main challenge that happens that a lot of people don't really know what your financial situation.
Yeah.
They may assume that you are earning a lot more than what you are earning. They may assume that you have a lot less expenses than what you have.
Yeah.
So that assumption is something that you can't always dispel. So I think for me, you assist where you can. Where you can't, you can't. But you can't bankrupt yourself, and like you said, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you find yourself that you've given back so much that you find yourself in the last week of the month, you don't have fuel to get to work. I don't know whether you've really done the right thing there for your family. So assist where you can, where you know you can't, you just have to decline, and that's it, Yeah.
I know I've spoken to a lot of like people who are very well off, even because you and I are still we are trying, but the people who are very, very well off, and even they got to a point where they're like, I was even watching Steve Harvey was saying, sometimes you just have to cut people off, because the only time they ever call you, like I know for a fact now, if my phone rings today, you're asking for money. If your name pops up on my phone, you're asking for money. And it's one of those things where you're like, okay. And it's a lesson that I learned from you actually a few years ago. You're like, my friend, don't give away money that you're not willing to let go of. When someone comes and tells you, or you are not willing, but you can't afford to let go of. So I think I was upset one day because someone was asking me for money. I'm like, no, someone had asked me for money. I'm like, now every day I'm just trying to get the money back. And we all know getting the money back, now I'm there, I'm the one harassing you. I'm a stalker now to get my money back. So I'm like, bruh, you said Friday, now it's Tuesday, like what's going? And you told me like, look, in the future, don't give money. No matter how much somebody says like, no, I'll pay you back. Don't give money you're not willing to let go of, or you're not able to live without. And that changed my narrative, because what I realized is also early is that people think, when people think you have money, it's a dangerous thing, because they think, for me, it's a weird thing that I can't actually balance, is you think I have money, but you think I don't know how much money I have. So people ask you for money and then they think you forgot. And they tell you like, no, I'll pay you back next week Wednesday. And then the person just keeps quiet. So now they're done, and it's months or years or months, and then they come back again. No, can you please give me 300? And you're like, so I used to be petty. And I used to say things like, the thing is, I don't have money right now. I'm so waiting for you to pay me back my 300 that I gave you that. People are like, because no one expects that, because they think maybe you just have so much money that you just forgot. And me, I don't forget. If I give you money, I won't forget. There are people who owe me money now from 2000 and whatever, and they think I forgot. I didn't forget. I know. I'm just not coming back for it. I don't know. It's stressful, but it's also because I gave it to you knowing that this person might not pay me back. And since I've made that transformation. So that's also a lesson I want to share. Like, if someone asks you to borrow money, you can give it as long as you, in your head, even if there's an agreement that they'll give it back, in your head, it must be a gift. And that way it also doesn't taint your relationship if they don't bring it back. You know, you also don't follow them every day. You don't become the stalker now every day, like, hey, brah, you said Wednesday, you know. And it also maintains it. So if they do bring it back, then you're like, oh my gosh, you know, it's thank you. It makes it's like a special, you know, whatever, surprise or whatever, but it shouldn't be something that taints relationships, because I've seen so many relationships are tainted and ruined by money. Borrowing money to friends is one of the most dangerous things in family. So you must do it with a clean heart. You must do it with knowing that I might not get this back, and you must also, it must be an amount that, like, okay, it won't finish me, and I know that it won't be the end of, I won't look at this person sideways for the next 6 years where they're going to kids' baptisms. I'm just like, still owe me my money. It's just angry. Yeah, so that's okay. So I also wanted to ask you, like, for what other books, okay, so you started off with Warren Ingram, Become Your Own Financial Advisor, and then you started reading some more books. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, I think the information is out there. There's quite a lot of information. Yeah, Become Your Own Financial Advisor is a good one. It's a good one. Very practical advice on what to do. If you read, there's another one that's, I think it's been really recommended by a lot of people. The Richest Man in Babylon. That one is very conceptual, very high level concept, but it's a wonderful read, a very short book that you could read in a weekend, that just really introduces you to a lot of concepts on money management. And it's not a practical how-to guide, but more the concepts.
Okay.
The same with Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. That's also a very good book. Also just gets you, I think it also, a lot of these books, like Richest Man in Babylon and Rich Dad, Poor Dad, they really help you to unlearn some of these things that or maybe just learn the concepts around financial management and how to manage your money. Another one that I found was an interesting read and a fun read to have was this one by Sam Beck. Don't mind the it touches on a lot of the things that Become Your Own Financial Advisor touches on, but it's a very fun read. It puts it in a very fun way. You should have thick skin to read it though, but it's a very fun read as well. Then there's a lot more. I think if one, Warren Ingram also had a follow-up on How to Make Your First Million. That one also, it's a good book as well. I think it gives a lot of case studies, practical application, other people, how they've done it, real world people in South Africa, close to home, how they've gone about it. So yeah, I think those are some of the books. I think once you know, with these things, it's like a rabbit hole. Once you've gone down the rabbit hole, you'll just find a lot of information. I think like Richest Man in Babylon is a good one to start with, and Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then Become Your Own Financial Advisor. If you've gone through those, I think you'll be able to get a better understanding and take it from there. Just they will add value. I think those do add value to your life.
I just wanted to, maybe just before we close off, so there's this thing where we're doing this, right? But we've also had these conversations before with our friends and family, and one thing that human beings are afraid of is change. And if you've been told by your financial advisor at the bank or whatever, whoever told you, or your parents told you this is how you manage money or whatever, and now you're faced with these new concepts, it becomes a bit difficult to just digest. You're saying you said you have to have some thick skin to take it in, but I think that's a very important thing. You need to be teachable. You need to be open to saying, I've been making a mistake. Let me step back and let me start over. And I think one of the things that for me, especially with Become Your Own Financial Advisor, has taught me, and a lot of these books, is that it's never too late you can always turn things around. You can always turn things in your favor. You can always decide like, okay, I'm going to do this now, and I'm going to do it this way. You take steps. I think we've both been caught in some holes where you're like, wait. Then you step back a little bit. You're like, no. Let me redo this. Yeah. And so you need to learn how to you need to be teachable. You need to understand that you don't know everything in life, and you need to, there's that saying, you need to be willing to change your opinion if you're presented with new information. So that would be my thing. Like, I think if we're talking about finances, because also it's very sensitive. People are very sensitive about their finances. They don't want to also feel like, I remember I was talking to you, I think it was yesterday, when I was saying people don't like to feel like they're being told they made a mistake, or they're being told, this is a silly move, or it's not a very smart move. They feel attacked. So I think if reading any of these books or trying to reevaluate your life, you must remove that completely. You must understand that, look, we were all in it or whatever, and this is the way forward. Yeah, so with that, do you have any, I think, maybe closing advice, closing remarks for anybody who might be watching this, for especially young professionals, older professionals, people who are not like, people who are just like, especially older people who feel like, oh, it's too late now, I've messed up my finances, there's nothing else I can do, I'm retiring next year, I'm going to retire in debt, all of that stuff, or I've already retired. Yeah, do you have any, maybe some advice or final words for them?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think it is a case of having to, first of all, the information is out there, so you can get information. That's the good thing when we're living in an age of information.
Yeah,
you can get access. You can read the book by Elon Musk, for instance, and that's really, or Warren Buffett. It's really akin to sitting down and speaking to this person and getting into their mind.
Yeah.
Definitely, one needs to be able to be teachable. You need to be willing to take in more information. And then secondly to that, I think more important to that is to have the courage to actually implement the changes.
Yeah.
A lot of these things will require you not to necessarily go with the flow. If you don't have the fanciest car, you don't have the fanciest handbag, you may, it's some of these things require discipline, and that instant gratification, you need to stop with that instant gratification. So it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of energy to do this. Anyone can do this. You can get to a position where you are better off where you were. So it's not a case of not everyone can be a multimillionaire. There are very, very few multi-billionaires, but everyone can manage their money in a better way so that they don't have to be drowning in debt. They don't have to be caught up in the rat race, the debt cycle. So I think anyone can do it. It's never too late. It's never too late to start. You just need to start. You just need to have the courage. You need to have a bit of discipline, a bit of perseverance, and you will find yourself in a much better position than where you were.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Thank you for being here. Okay, people, this is my brother. If you have, please let us know what you thought about today's conversation. If there's anything you would like me to ask my brother again, I have his number. We can get him back. Why not? We can have some more conversations. And I hope this helped you. I will have all of the books that we've discussed here running down below, so you can find them for yourselves and see what you find interesting and how you can implement. But just a final word: it doesn't matter what other people think about you. You don't have to have the biggest wedding. You don't have to have the fanciest car. You don't have to have this huge house if it means that you're going to be drowning in it to have them. Those people don't sleep with you, my friend. They don't sleep in your house when you're there eating bread for dinner and with water, but your car is nice. Like they don't do that. So choose yourself. Choose your peace. Yeah? Choose your peace. This rat race you don't want to be in. You don't want to be a slave to debt and a slave to money. So make decisions that are best suited for you. As I said, you can't pour for an empty cup. So when you do give, and I really support giving. It's my thing. I really believe it. Give. Just don't give to a point where you are drowning yourself in debt, and you also, it's not practical. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Nangolo, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And yeah, have a good day. Bye.
Bye now.